Okay, starting off with Lee Apollo Adama, um, with the first pilot. The hierarchy doesn't matter as much when you're pilots in the base game. In some of the expansions, there's a CAG role, which is the top, basically the head pilot, and then Apollo would be first in line for that. But anyway, it doesn't really matter in the base game what your hierarchy is, because you're probably not going to become president or admiral. You're going to be a pilot, and being a pilot is a lot of fun. You get to blow stuff up. Apollo is. It's hard to say whether Apollo or Starbuck is more fun as a pilot. Um, his um, his alert Viper pilot strength is great. Anytime anybody launches a Viper, he can choose to pilot that Viper and take an action. So anything in the game that just gives you extra actions is really sweet. It can be super powerful as a Cylon because somebody might not be thinking about it, and maybe they launch a Viper right before your turn, and then you get to jump in it, take an action. Maybe you do something really negative, like exo another Cylon, or reveal, or who knows what. It can be powerful if you're a Cylon, but it can also be really powerful as a human because you get an extra action. You can jump in there and go kill something. His CAG action, his CAGs once per game, is sweet. So once in every game, he can activate, 6 unmanned Vipers, or he can basically take 6 actions with unmanned Vipers. So if you do that, like when you get XO'd and you have 2 actions, right? Then he could play like a maximum firepower and shoot 4 times himself, and then shoot 6 times with unmanned Vipers, and potentially, clear 10 raiders off the board. I mean, uh, you know, it's huge, and it's just a ton of fun to be blowing stuff up. His headstrong weakness is kind of a pain, actually. When he's forced to discard, he has to discard randomly, and that kind of stinks. But it's only fair because his positives are really, really positive. Um, and that weakness can be a pain. You also have to be careful when you're a Cylon, if you say you don't have a card, because if you later on you have to discard, that card might randomly come out because you don't get to decide what you discard, and so you might get caught in a lie, which is not a good thing for a Cylon. But so it can definitely be negative, but it's certainly negative for humans. You might end up having to discard your strongest card if you discard randomly. So that's a real pain for Adama, or for Apollo. All right, and next up we'll be talking about Starbuck.